Teaching ESL to Adults. Classroom Approaches in Action, a project of the New American Horizons Foundation. Betsy Parrish and Marianne Flores, developers. Task to promote critical thinking and learning skills. Featured instructors: Suzanne Gilchrist McCurdy, Intermediate; Jessica Grace Jones, High Intermediate; George Shuley, Intermediate Advanced; Susan Watson, Multi-Level; Andrea Eschelberger, Literacy Level; Cheryl Sherwin, Intermediate Level. New American Horizons Foundation.
This one. Starting school, where am I? I'm kindergarten. Is this still happening or is it finished?
Still happening.
I'm still in kindergarten?
No, that's picture.
Right? I'm in kindergarten now? No? It's finished?
Yes.
So how would I say that?
I have finished.
We can say I started. And how would you say it about me? You.
In this intermediate grammar lesson, Suzanne uses a simple graphic organizer, a timeline, to help learners discover the difference between the simple past, you started school in 1977, and the present perfect, you've lived in Minnesota for 14 years.
This one. Is this finished? What is this one? Do I still live in Minnesota?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Till now.
Until now. Yeah. How long have I lived here?
14.
Suzanne takes an approach that encourages students to think critically as they analyze the language.
We say you have.
In this video, we explore the importance of developing critical thinking skills, as well as skills for learning independently, such as note-taking and organizing strategies. Learners need these skills to be successful in the community, at work, and for further education.
Mature means
taking notes at a parent-teacher conference, making decisions with coworkers, organizing information from a text. Teachers in these classes use tasks that allow learners to think critically. For example, compare and contrast ideas, identify assumptions, interpret information, analyze and evaluate, summarize and synthesize what they've learned. Adult learners also need practice with learning skills. For example, they need to categorize and organize ideas, make and confirm predictions, listen and read selectively, and practice note-taking. Teachers need to integrate practice with these types of skills right from the start. These skills take a long time to develop. Some students lack prior formal schooling or have different academic experiences. The tasks we explore in this video take learning beyond the text. We will look at categorizing tasks, activities using grids, and the use of graphic organizers.
Categorizing task.
Eating, shopping, playing. Yeah. Yes. That's community. Community. That's what we're going to talk about today. What are some places in the community?
School.
Schools, thank you.
In the park.
Park, thank you.
Hospital.
Yes.
In this lesson on places in the community, Susan begins with a whole group brainstorming activity and then moves into having the class categorize the information.
What you said. Places we go for shopping and eating. Shopping and eating. This is one group. How about this one? Recreation.
Sorting places into categories demonstrates for students one strategy for organizing ideas.
Having fun? What else is recreation? Playing soccer, going to the park, recreation. And number 3, services. Services. What is a service? What is a service?
Bus, the school bus.
Like the school. Let's say the school. The school. The school. That's a service that the government helps us do. It's a service. The hospital is a service. Thank you.
Meaningful grouping of words helps both learning and memory.
Library? Is library could be recreation or service, couldn't it? Okay, we'll go here. Bicycle riding, maybe in the park.
Sorting ideas leads to critical thinking as learners analyze where to place church among the 3 categories.
What about what's left? Church. What is church?
Recreation.
Recreation? Service? You tell me what?
I think it's recreation.
Recreation or service? You can decide. You can decide. Maybe for some people, service. Maybe for some people, recreation. Do we have everything? Let me ask you about, where do I go to get my cutting hair? Service, recreation, or shopping? Hair. Shopping, recreation, or service?
In my family, selfish is good because it means you're independent. You can take care of yourself, right? Okay, and what about this one? Perfectionist. What do you think? What do you guys think? Is this positive or negative? Why?
In this advanced reading lesson, learners are working with vocabulary from a text on birth order theory, analyzing and justifying why a personality trait is positive, negative, or either.
They make it perfect? Okay. They take care of their family. Do they do a good job or bad job? Good job. Anybody here think it's a negative thing?
Sometimes it's negative being so perfectionist.
Why is it negative?
Pushy.
Yeah,
It's too pushy,
Yeah.
too strong.
Stress out.
They're always stressed.
Stress.
So should I put a positive, negative, or either? So that's manipulative.
Okay. That means it's a negative, right?
Working in groups, learners justify answers and interpret multiple meanings of the vocabulary, which leads to a deeper understanding of the words.
In America, generally the Democrats are more liberal. Republicans are more.
See how the sorting task leads to a deeper analysis of the meaning of dependent.
Put on or under? Under.
Dependent means that's good because you are responsible for yourself. But on the other hand, dependent, the other point, the bad thing is you cannot care about another people.
Okay, is that correct?
No.
Is she thinking of dependent or another word?
Another word.
What's the other word? She's independent. So this is the opposite, right?
Yes.
So she said it meant.
She don't good or bad.
What's dependent mean?
Dependent me,
You expect it to
Depend
help
all
all
the
the time.
Yeah, you have to have other people help you all the time, right?
Yes.
So is that either or?
I thought it was independent, but she.
Good job. So, independent, do you agree it's negative or is it negative or positive? Negative? Yeah, and the other word that some people were confused with?
Is the I.
Independent, that's opposite.
Like your children dependent to you.
Yeah, your children are dependent on you, right? Yeah, can your children survive without you?
No.
So they're dependent on you.
So that could be in the middle, like between negative and positive.
Yeah, why would it be in the middle?
Because she just said that sometimes your kids depend on your parents, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to rely on other people.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be either.
You don't negative.
I'd say this one wins, but this is close. So let's put it right here. Okay. Okay, how about well organized?
Activities using grids. Listening and filling in a grid.
So on the side, you see that there are three names, Julia, Betsy, and Sina. Those are the three different people that we just watched. Okay?
In this intermediate listening lesson on cultural differences, learners need to listen selectively as they fill in missing information on a grid.
How is it different in their country, and how do they feel about the practice?
This strategy allows for different levels of interpretation depending on the levels of the learners in the class. Learners also listen for attitude, how the speakers feel about a custom.
I've lived in the United States for over 20 years now, but one of the first things that struck me when I came here has to do with food and eating habits. The first thing that struck me was how people eat in the street and in public.
In filling in the grid, learners determine what information is important. Listening to these short, authentic talks and taking notes also replicates what learners would encounter in a training or academic setting.
Would sit at their desk and eat alone. I always considered food or lunch a collective activity where we would sit together and relax and enjoy conversation and so on. I found eating on your own rather sad and unhealthy somehow.
Reporting to others using notes is another important academic skill. Now learners exchange information that they heard in the talks. They must analyze whether two different answers can both be correct.
In the bus, and from the people collecting activities and relax.
Which country are you talking about there, Maria? So do people eat collectively in the United States?
No.
Do they eat together most of the time?
No. But this way in the US, car wash, arts museum.
So Sina uses the word collectively, which is just means together.
In the US,
Okay.
car wash.
So did he say that in the United States he thinks people eat together a lot, or he thinks that they don't eat together a lot?
They don't eat together a lot.
Yeah. So I think when he says collectively, he's talking not about the United States, but he's talking about Iran. Yeah.
What you know about the US?
Later in this lesson, learners compare and contrast cultural practices in their countries and the U.S. using an interview grid. There's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
Some of the answers will be the same if it's the same in both countries, and some of the answers will be different if it's different in the two countries.
In your country, look for other.
Yeah, it means like that.
Learners need to identify some of their assumptions about cultural practices in the U.S. and compare those to others' ideas.
You visit your friends, you have to come first. Yeah.
What else? What did you learn or what surprised you?
Now learners reflect on customs that surprised them and how they felt about some practices in the U.S.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. If you're going to visit an American friend, they will expect you to call on the phone first. Otherwise, if you come and knock at the door, they'll say, "Oh, hi, why are you here?" They'll be very surprised.
What surprised me is American culture. Like students don't call the teacher. They only call the name.
Yeah.
Or they call the mother-in-law. They call the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is more respectful?
They should call like if mother-in-law, they should call mother-in-law.
These different grid activities give students practice in listening selectively, comparing and contrasting, note-taking, categorizing, and organizing information visually.
What is the problem?
Interview grids can be used at all levels of instruction. In this literacy level class, students identify problems in their housing unit and practice reporting them to a landlord using an interview grid.
These are some of the questions the apartment manager will ask you. What is your name? What is your address? What is your telephone number? What is the problem? So these are the questions from an apartment manager. If you call them on the phone or if you go to the office and knock on the door, the wahe, you can always do that. Come here, come here. That's good too. Okay, so we are going to count off 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
And number ones, you are going to have the paper.
Yeah.
So number 1 will ask the questions.
Yeah.
Number 2, you are going to speak English, the answers.
Yeah.
Answers. And then number 1, write the answers.
What is your address? My address is 1019 R. What is your telephone number?
H T. What is the problem?
My father is
Cockroaches? Mini cockroaches?
Later, using data gathered about problems with pests in their buildings, the class creates a pie chart to display their results. This allows learners to practice many critical thinking skills as they analyze information, compare and contrast, and summarize their findings visually with a pie chart. A graphic organizer is a visual display that depicts the relationships between facts, terms, or ideas. There are as many types of graphic organizers as there are ways to use them. In the following segments, we will see how graphic organizers allow students to organize their ideas, practice critical thinking, and show the overall organization of a text. We'll look at Venn diagrams, T-charts, and tree diagrams.
Graphic organizers and a jigsaw reading lesson using a T-chart.
So many middles.
So, what your middle? What's for?
In this advanced reading lesson on birth order theory, the teacher uses a jigsaw approach where different groups are responsible for different parts of the text. After creating like birth order groups, the teacher gives each group a T-chart to fill in with the benefits and drawbacks of their birth order.
First of all, what's a benefit?
Something is good for you.
Something that's good. So I'm, what is my birth order? So what's the benefit for me as a
You
firstborn?
get all the attention.
I get all the attention? Really? No, so I'm a benefit is I get all the attention.
Right.
Okay, what's a drawback? What's drawback mean? It's not good for you, right? What's another word for drawback?
So they try to
Well,
do better in the
actually,
second.
the oldest struggle more.
The older
The oldest
usually
struggle more. The second one, you choose what your second.
we already
I mean, your older
practiced enough
sister,
in
you
our
practice.
first. Right, right.
You learn
So
from
then
your sister.
like one idea here would be like learn from mistakes from the older brother.
We can put
Or
it that way.
sisters.
I got it right. We are all bros or sisters, but
Right.
Not only do learners compare and contrast their ideas, they connect learning to their prior experiences. Notice how the simple graphic organizer generates abundant, meaningful discussion among the students.
You feel left out because
You
the
feel
older
left
get
out.
more attention.
The
How
older
about
get
that?
more attention, and
The
those
older
are the
and the
youngest.
baby usually do.
so what will be?
Well, left out. Well, that
The second baby, they don't have the good attention as the first one. Why? Because the parents, when they had the first child, they loved them, they take care of them. The first one, they very excited to have a first child. And then the second one, it's okay.
Then all go down to
Yeah.
what comes up, right?
Yeah, once you have.
How about your group? Your youngest? What's the advantage of being youngest?
Get all the attention from everybody in the family.
You get all the attention.
spoils.
So you're spoiled. Let's just put that down. Because you already told me firstborns get a lot of attention, right?
Right.
Is it the same kind of attention?
No.
What kind of attention?
I think our parents try to.
Let's hear from the youngest here. What's the attention? Huh?
Because we are the babies and we have our older brothers and sisters.
So you get
Not just the parent, but it's also from the older child.
That will be for only children, because if you are only child in the house.
After completing the T-chart, learners make predictions about what they'll learn in the reading about birth order theory.
Brothers, then it's not just for you. You have to share equally. You don't have to have all the stuff that you have.
Once learners finish reading about their own birth order, they revisit their predictions and relate the reading to their personal experiences. In doing so, they use many critical thinking skills, in particular, challenging assumptions and ideas presented in the reading.
Using a tree diagram.
and then fill out the traits for your order. Thank you, birth order. So if I'm firstborn, do I fill out everything?
No.
Which one do I fill out?
First.
And what are traits? What do those mean? Personality. The things that you just wrote, your predictions here, right? And I want you, while you're reading, to think about whether the predictions you have here are the same as the reading has. Okay? Are the predictions you made the same?
Very close.
Okay, so I want you to discuss that. How do they compare? Are they close or are they really
Different.
off? Your predictions aren't the same. Like Tony was telling me, he doesn't think he's that different from his oldest brother, that they have similar responsibilities. So is his experience the same as what they're saying here in the reading? So I want you to compare your personal experiences, what you feel, what you know from your family, with what the reading is saying.
Those are completely different than what is.
It's somewhat similar, not completely different.
That's one idea.
But
it's different.
So we need to compare this idea with the paper. Then we can answer these questions.
My older is like that. And I don't agree with the part as they're not good reader. I don't think it's true. I think my second is always want to go ahead, don't want to wait for me. She just want to, I think she was reading when she just started kindergarten.
The second one?
My second. My older don't read until the middle of first grade.
That's because we are talking about
We learn
being
from
more
our first
independent.
mistake.
Following these discussions, learners mingle with others to complete their tree diagram, showing them graphically the overall organization of the text. Filling in the graphic organizer also gives learners practice with note-taking and outlining strategies.
Using a Venn diagram.
Nice teacher.
A Venn diagram is a commonly used graphic organizer for depicting similarities and differences. In this intermediate writing lesson, the class uses a Venn diagram to organize their ideas about educational experiences in their home countries.
For some students.
It doesn't matter if it's in mathematics, if it's in maths, if it's in English, if it's in geography, if it's in some other subject, it doesn't matter. But if you do something wrong, they are very strict. If you don't pay attention in the class, it's not like here, like I said, it's not like here, the teacher may be talking to you and you do something else here. Or the teacher may be telling you something to do, you may be doing something else. No. In my country, if the teacher is talking, you can't talk. You have to pay full attention, which is 100% attention to what the teacher is telling you. If you don't do that, you have price to pay, you have punishment to receive.
Okay, so Venn diagram. You'll notice that now instead of one circle, we have two circles. Okay? And in the middle, the two circles connect. This is actually what we call the two circles overlap. Overlap. In other words, one part is on top of the other part. Okay? Now, because you are going to be comparing, okay, we're going to try to identify things that are different and things that are the same. And over here, we're going to put Carlos Rosario representing your experience here in the United States. All right, what about attitude of the teachers in general?
Good.
The same? Okay, so John, you're saying the same. Okay, so for John, okay, and how would you describe those teachers, John? In a couple of words. Very strict and serious, or nice and respectful? Okay. All right, so for John, he's going to put that in the middle here. Nice and respectful. But Santiago, you're saying the teachers are different.
Very strict.
Okay, so in your country, very strict? What, here we're not strict?
No, but they were very serious.
Okay. Okay.
They don't smile.
They don't smile? Oh, man. Okay. So for Santiago, it's going to be different. Okay? Teachers were strict and serious. Serious. Okay? Carlos Rosario, how would you describe the teachers at Carlos Rosario?
After modeling how to use a Venn diagram, students can now use one on their own to organize their ideas for an essay comparing and contrasting their educational experiences at home and in the U.S. The activities in this video require that learners do more than simply memorize or repeat information, describe or report what they hear or read, or answer comprehension questions after reading or listening to a text. They've been given practice with important critical thinking and learning skills, such as identifying and challenging assumptions, comparing and contrasting ideas, making and confirming predictions, categorizing information, organizing ideas, and note-taking.
Okay, decorated.
Okay.
You're welcome.
These are but a few of the skills and strategies teachers must integrate from the very beginning levels of instruction, giving learners tools to thrive in their communities, at work, and in further education.
Are you lucky?
Oh, you are lucky. Yeah, I feel like
Production credits.